Coming up, DIY renewables, crackdowns on cyberbullying, and a huge breakthrough in data storage. Welcome to Total Nileation, your existential halftime, the podcast that brings you the better stories you should be getting but are not for some reason. I am Niall Seguin, aka Optimus Prime. Welcome to the Treehouse. Still the new Treehouse, because this is the second episode in my primary partner's therapy office. Nice and cozy, a little toasty, but I hope way quieter. Hopefully the audio is better. I still don't know. Again, this is the bundling. This is the second episode. This is a month from now is when this will air. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having I hope your March was good. I hope you're having a great week. Feel free to pull up a cushion, have a pull of the shisha. I'm still doing all right. It's only been an hour or half an hour. Or I don't know how long it's taking me to record this episode. Things are going well, I think. And again, if you're listening to this, maybe even this, I might air this after the episode that I have the first interview or the first guest on. Jesus, words are hard. I guess I just blew my entire word budget on episode 37. Now 38 is going to suffer, assuming this is episode 38, because again, I might really enjoy the interview episode and air that first. All of these words should be in my head and not in the podcast, so I'm just going to move on before the rambling just goes out of control. Too late. Here for you now. Little pick me up. If you're not having a good week, I hope this helps. Our top good news stories from our home office in Finger, Manitoba. At one point, by the way, if this podcast gets its legs underneath it, I'm going to record an episode in Finger, Manitoba. I've never been. I'm going to give it a go. We'll see. Depending, who knows? What if I get to Finger, Manitoba and it's like, Canada's fucking hate crime capital? I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's lovely. Apologies to Finger, Manitoba. I'm going to move on because I don't know what's going on. I literally just took my meds. I don't know why they're not taking. I might have to increase the dosage. Number 7, Bogota has launched clean air zones in low-income neighborhoods. Those that are affected the most are now protected. The city has cut pollution by 24% since 2018. I fucking love these 24%. If you are not impressed by that, I don't know what to tell you. Since 2018, what was that? 8 years, not quite a decade. 24%. Nice work. Bogota has the largest, this is interesting, Bogota has the largest cycle lane network in Latin America and one of the largest e-bus fleets in North America, I believe. So congrats to them. Again, who are these people that are getting elected in these places? How are you fucking doing this? How are you getting people? Last episode, it was the Welsh. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look into this. And we are going to talk about this because I don't get it. How are you getting these people in office? Bogota is repaving dirt roads to eliminate dust, rerouting heavy freight traffic away from schools. Jesus Christ, that feels like number one obvious, but good for you. And creating new urban forests and green corridors. Oh, I love the sound of that so much. If you live in the city, you know. If you know, man, it just would be nice to walk a few blocks and be like, okay, I'm going to go into some trees for a bit and literally touch grass. And also, so again, this has been the theme lately. And maybe this is the news is going, the good news is going this way because of what I'm about to say, because this sets a precedent, right? Sets another precedent. Once someone does it, the excuses to not do it get flimsier and flimsier, right? It's too expensive and blah, 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 and all of this. And then you look at Bogota. I don't know Bogota. Maybe Bogota is a super wealthy city. Maybe it's better than Toronto in terms of how income and how it handles money and whatever. I might be profiling, but I feel like it's not, which then makes me wonder, why the fuck can't I do this? Why can't I have this in my city? Why can't I? Well, most of that is a premier, Doug Ford. If you don't know, if you're not from Ontario, that guy is on a mission. He is just speed running climate change. He's really just set to do everything he can. He's fighting progress. I've never seen anything like this. I don't get it. But okay, I guess. Anyways, the point is, this story and what Bogota is doing, it shows that you can advance, you can get right at the same time as you maintain your city, right? They're not bankrupt. Also, I heard I should book a vacation there. I underestimated the flight times. I'd spend way more time in South America if it wasn't like 10 hours or something. God damn. But I've heard Bogota's gorgeous. Number 6. This is yet another amazing nerd story. Remember last episode, I said, look, what we got to do, it's 20-80. 20% of the nerds, 20% of the weird fucking, baseline washed nerds. And the rest of us are just NPCs who are here for a good time, just hanging out with your friends, family. Try not to break anything. That should be your only purpose. Try not to break anything if you are not a nerd. And we should just get out of the way, get out of the nerd's way, let them cook. Let them cook, because every now and then they'll be like, I made you something. And you'll be like, fuck, this is amazing, you fucking weirdo. There's another story like this, and I love it so much. Super nerd Jonathan Schreiber is empowering individuals, I felt like I said that wrong, to build their own wind turbines through his non-profit Pure Self-Made, proving that renewable energy doesn't have to depend on big industry. The project has helped over 900 people build more than 80 turbines. Let that sink in. He is helping people build renewable sources of energy. Commercial small-scale turbines that can cost tens of thousands of dollars. These DIY models cost as little as $1,740. I translated that from pounds because it's from euros. 1,500 euros or 1,740. I don't know if that's Canadian though. I think it's Canadian. For all the materials, making clean power accessible to a much wider audience. And let's not kid ourselves. $1,700. You're making that back. You're making that back. Like I don't know how long it would take you to make that back off your power bill, but probably not a long time, especially if you're running a grow op. The turbines are built using transparent supply chains. Most parts are found at local hardware stores. Rotor blades are made from wood, a renewable resource that naturally decomposes, if you didn't know. These small-scale turbines provide a perfect complement to solar power, especially in northern climates during winter months when sunlight is scarce but wind is abundant, ensuring more resilient home energy systems. Again, just let the nerds cook. No matter what you do, there's going to be nerds cooking. Right now, as I'm speaking, there's some nerd who is just out in the existential wilderness, just trying and retrying, making adjustment, failing and failing and failing and failing. And they are by themselves. No one's hyping them. They just have a fixation. Maybe they got a little of the OCD. It's a good OCD, I guess. But just bear that in mind. Bear that in mind as you are freaking out about whatever problem that you might, that you've been asked to freak out about, basically, right? It's not, I don't think it is, there's things to be concerned about for sure. But what we don't see are the nerds. You never see the nerds. If you've seen any 80s film, we never see the nerds until the big climactic moment where they come up with DIY energy. That's crazy. Number 5. I love this one. I like all of them, but this one is heartwarming as well as great news because it really reminds you that humans, for the most part, are good. In Minneapolis, a mother named Bree has built a grassroots donation network to support families in crisis, using her own supply of breast milk. Bree was able to provide 350 ounces of milk to a newborn in need within 90 minutes of a call, providing immediate health and comfort to a struggling infant. I really wish they would elaborate on her own supply. I'm going to guess her own supply is what she produced. I don't know if 350 ounces sounds like a lot to someone who doesn't produce milk. But yes, I'm going to assume it's her. It's her. Not that she has like a fridge filled with other people's breast milk. It doesn't matter. The point is she's giving it away. What began as a few individual donations has swelled into a massive network that has provided over 500 families with groceries and more than 300 families with diapers and wipes. The network has also raised funds to cover months of rent for those in need. Care packages are also being sent out, and they include everything from baby clothes to sketchbooks for teenagers. 6 additional mothers have stepped forward to donate certified breast milk, showing that when one member of the community is in trouble, others are willing and ready to step up. Also, can I get uncertified breast milk? I don't even know if I want to taste it. I just want to know what that means. Yeah, you got some breast milk? Yeah, but this is off the books. This is, listen, I cannot, wow. How do you even certify breast milk? Is there a panel? Is there like some sort of oral essay? If I win, here is how. If I could, okay. If you're a breast milk certifier, please by all means email me, totalnileation@gmail.com. I definitely want to know, and I will let people know. I'll mention it on air. Number 4. Now let's go back to number 5, because that's nice, right? When you're thinking, no one's going to report this. No one reported this story. All we get is the bad news, which is just fucking with your brain. So I am here to tell you, for every bad news you hear, there's probably like a good news story in there. Number 4. Scientists have developed a groundbreaking automated method to retrieve eggs from follicular fluid. In a related story, I correctly pronounced follicular. Fucking nailed it. Oh, I was just going to let it go, but I was like, so proud of myself. Discovering viable eggs. This is the rest of that sentence, by the way. Discovering viable eggs that were previously missed by manual microscopic checks. This new technology successfully identified extra eggs in over 50% of patients. This innovation offers extra hope for couples and individuals struggling to conceive. Already in discussions to bring this promising device into standard medical use as soon as possible. This feels like the fertility stuff is really finding its groove. Yes? I feel there was another fertility story a few episodes ago involving, I want to say like older couples, specifically older women, let's be real, who want to conceive. And so good for them. Just do your thing. Get some of that sweet, sweet uncertified breast milk. You're off to the races. Number 3. I very much like this next one. The UK government has been on one. They got their geothermal plant last episode. I don't know if we can't count the Welsh, right? That's separate. Apologies to the Welsh. I don't know enough about the Welsh to make a joke, so that's on you. But the point is, something cool from the UK government. The UK government has introduced a landmark law requiring tech companies to remove intimate images shared without consent within 48 hours. Under this new amendment, survivors only need to flag an image once. The law ensures the content is removed across all platforms. This legislation rightly places the burden of action on tech giants rather than the victims. It sets a high global standard for dignity. Can you feel how enthused I am about this story? Because it's just, it's this thing of like, it's just right. It's just right. If someone posts a photo of me, I shouldn't have to have. I'm the victim. I'm eating it. I'm already in a bad place. Now I got to go photo hunting. I got to deal with, bureaucracy. No, 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 no. No. That is you. You got so much goddamn money. Handle your fucking business. Again, I love this so much. It's all about precedence. It's all about precedence. Once someone does a good thing, it gets easier to get someone else to do the good thing. I love that, like, yeah. Like years from now, this is just going to be standard operating procedure, and we will forget how fucking intense this was. The whole like revenge porn shit, all of that. We'll forget how awful it was, because that's just how we're wired. We'll have moved on to something else to freak out about, because pessimists are the worst. Number 2, the European Commission has launched a comprehensive action plan against cyberbullying. They created a new app that will allow young people to report abuse instantly, connect with helplines, and securely store evidence, mandating the removal of harmful content and clear labeling of AI-generated deepfakes used for bullying. Built on direct input from over 6,000 children, which is fucking awesome, by the way. This ensures that the solutions actually meet real-world needs instead of some top-down bullshit that the kids are never going to use. I cannot imagine how hard it is to deal with cyberbullying. I literally can't imagine. Because just being a kid was hard enough. Being a teenager is hard enough. But just like, there's like, obviously, I'm an 80s kid, so I've seen some bullying. I've seen some shitty shit, man. But at least you knew. You were like, okay, I gotta avoid these asshole 10th graders because they wanna haze me in some sort of initiation bullshit or whatever, because I'm a frosh, which is insane. But like, there was a target. I knew. I didn't know. Well, I'm talking like I was bullied. I wasn't really bullied, but you knew who you could avoid. You knew how many there were by and large. But this is awful. This is awful. Someone sends some shit to your phone. You don't know who the fuck they are. You don't know how many of them there are. Now you're just looking side-eyed at everybody. And then it's harder to make fucking friends. Like, it's not hard enough to make friends. So this is fucking brilliant. Fuck bullies. They're the worst. They're the worst. And I like to think that there's going to be another sneaky one for ripple effects. I think, again, another precedent. I don't need to keep repeating myself, right? Maybe I should just make a loop of my saying that and then just play it randomly between stories. I think this is just amazing, because not only will it prevent terrible bullying, but like, let's be real, this is a sneaky huge one now that I'm talking it out, because this is probably going to prevent another Trump or another Elon Musk, another name your narcissist. Let's be real. They can deny it all they want, but they feel small inside. They do. Not all of them were gutted by their dads. A lot of them were. Pretty sure you look at Trump's dad, look at fucking Elon Musk's dad. That is peak worst human. But some of them just got bullied. Now you're eliminating the ones that just, there's the ones whose super villain origin story was, I got bullied in school. You're dropping that. That is lovely, I think. Again, it's going to be another narcissist that wasn't created, and we won't know how good we have it, because it'll be an absence of something terrible that we have problems getting our heads around. I hope that made sense. It made sense in my head. Number 1. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Scientists in Cambridge have developed a revolutionary way to store data inside silica glass. What did I even just say? That is crazy. What did I say about the nerds? Let them cook. Let them cook. This is a permanent solution to the limited shelf life of traditional hard drives and magnetic tapes. 4.84 terabytes of data, the equivalent of roughly 2 million printed books, can be stored into a tiny piece of glass measuring just 12 square centimeters. The glass storage could lead to a more sustainable and reliable global infrastructure for the massive amounts of data that our modern society generates. Now think about this. This is the thing that everyone loses their minds about, rightly so, when it comes to AI. Even though I wrote on my Substack about this, your whole thing about being against AI because of the water it consumes makes no goddamn sense. Because if you're streaming, if you're eating meat, congrats, you're consuming way more water than I do when I'm on a chat GPT fucking around. If you ate a quarter pounder burger, it would take me just under 20 years using AI at my current rate to catch up to your water consumption. So shut the fuck up. That's not the point. The point is, meat doesn't scale, technology does, and here it is. It just goddamn did. See? Booyakasha. I'm just saying, even if this is just 1/10 as good as it sounds, and it's not, it is exactly as goddamn good as it sounds. That is a huge advancement. That's a huge advancement. Because we're not going to have, just to think of the chain reaction of like storage materials, water consumed, loss of the fact that they have to keep changing up the storage materials used in traditional hard drives and magnetic tapes because it deteriorates. Not the case for silica. It's just in there, bro. So if you were concerned about water, now you got one less thing to be concerned about. Might want to get a team on meat, though. Might want to get a team on meat, but we're probably not going to. We just won't. Guys, once again, it is time for 25 seconds of good news. Last episode, not so great. Did not even reach my average of 6. There's some technical difficulties. I'm going to see if I'm going to do what I can, as we all are. A new spit test has been found to be more accurate at identifying future risk of prostate cancer. Researchers have developed a method of creating carbon-neutral cement through seawater electrolysis. Sunrise Bank offers customers the option to have their money only invested in things that will reduce carbon emissions. Astronomers have found signs of biological activities on a planet 124 light years from Earth. I knew it. Oh, that's upsetting. That is upsetting. What is that? That's another 5. No, is that? Oh no, that's 4. No. Yeah, that's 4. Welp. That's, you know what? You don't win them all. I'll get them next time. I was just getting used to the new space, you guys. Guys, that is the episode. A little something that I might want to mention here. I'm gonna have my guests do 25 seconds of good news. I'm gonna see if they can break 6. Also, it's going to be great for me because that will be me outsourcing the stress of this event. If you enjoyed it, please remember to rate, review, like, subscribe. If you are on YouTube watching this right now, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Please sign up to my Substack. That's substack.com/@Total Nileation, or follow me on socials @NileCK. I am on the Beaverton regularly, the Beaverton podcast, which is fun if you want to listen to me dunk on news and try to bring good news to our kind of pessimistic friends at the Beaverton. I'm also on another podcast, Comedians in Dungeons Getting Dragons, an award-winning podcast, mind you, where stand-up comics play Dungeons and Dragons, and it is a really good time. It is the Arrested Development of podcasts because you will regret not having listened to it. If you enjoyed any of this, please consider sending it to a friend, telling people about it, or joining my Buy Me a Coffee page, buymeacoffee.com/Total Nileation. And if you have any good stories, suggestions, questions, just want to shit talk me and you don't want to bother with comments, at totalnihilation@gmail.com. Wow, words are hard today. We'll get there eventually. I am still working on the audience episode audience suggestion episodes. I don't know if I'll ever get the necessary number of audience suggestions, but who knows? Maybe someday. Guys, that is it. That is it for the episode. Hope you have a lovely couple of weeks. And remember, if you cannot be a shining example, be a terrifying warning. Let's get it on 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3.